Welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified naturopath and integrative health practitioner Dr. Stephen Cabral shares how he was diagnosed at the age of 17 with a life-altering illness and given no hope for recovery. It was only after studying and traveling all over the world did he discover how to combine ancient Ayurvedic healing practices with state-of-the-art naturopathic and functional medicine to fully rebalance the body and re-energize it with life. It's time to discover how to get well, lose weight, and finally feel alive again. And now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the show. Great to be here with you this week on our motivation and mindset. Coming at you every single Monday, one of my favorite shows of the week to get into, absolutely my favorite show to start the week. And that is because we talk about a lot of intense topics on this show. On the Cabral Concept, we dive deep into wellness-based issues, weight loss issues, mindset, really focusing on the main areas of our life where we want to improve. Now, I believe, though, I truly believe that you can accomplish anything you want in your life. I really believe that. And that's because from my own personal experience, again, I always draw from what have I seen in my practice over the past 25 years now of helping people, but also what have I seen in my own life? And it's just a lot of people. Many people without necessarily special talents or specific skills, didn't come from a lot of money or any different attributes where you would say, oh, well, it's because of this. That's why they were successful in relationships, career, body transformation, their health, their spirituality, whatever it might be. But they didn't have those things, yet they were able to overcome their circumstances and achieve what they wanted in life. They got what they wanted out of life. And many of those people are in their 30s, 40s, 50s, whatever it might be right now. So it's my goal is to say, whatever age you're at, and I really believe that, again, 75 years old is a great age to start living your life how you want to be living your life. That's the truth. It's like I work with people in my practice right now in their early 80s that are really going after it in life. And it is absolutely amazing for me to see. I love it. I talk about it all the time where like they are my role models. So when I get to that age, I want to be as active as they are in my mind and my body. And so I take inspiration from that. But the truth is this, that sometimes we are lost for how to get even started. And sometimes we don't even know what our goal should be. So that's a lot of what I want to share with you here today, because as we begin to move into a new year, as we begin to set new goals for ourselves, and if you're listening to this in June of the next year, it's all the same. Remember, these are timeless principles. I try to create what is called evergreen, this is my Boston accent coming out, but evergreen-based material. That means that 10 years from now, my daughters can listen to it as they're going off to college or getting ready to finish high school, whatever it might be. It's still applicable. Like it still matters. And I receive this information from all of the books that I've read over the years, the many mentors I've gotten to spend some great time with, and of course, studying overseas where an Eastern-based philosophy just begins to lead to a whole lot happier life. But I'm not all Eastern philosophy in full. I believe and I love the Western-based mentality as well, where you can be, do, have, get anything that you want in life. But you have to know that there are systems behind this. You don't just stumble upon success. And if you do, what do we know about lottery winners and other people? What do we know? That they typically go back down to zero, right? If you lost the weight and didn't know how you lost the weight, what do? You regain the weight. If you got healthy, didn't know how you got healthy, you become unhealthy again. It's the same thing as like you got into a great relationship, you don't know how it happened, you go back to your set point. That's what we call our thermostat. If you want to reset the thermostat, you have to know there is a system behind it. It is why some people are wildly successful in certain areas of their life and not in others. Well, their goal setting is different depending on the area of their life that they're looking at. So that is what I want to bring you today. I have 4 specific steps that I've used in my life and I've seen mimicked in many other people's. Again, I don't think that anyone can take credit for how you go about achieving your goals. There is a specific methodology. I've talked about it before. I would love you to go back and tune into some of my previous Mindset and Motivation Monday shows, since I give you the SMART-based formula, the be, do, get formula, all of the different things that allow you to achieve your goals. But today, what I want to share with you is how do you come up with the right goal for you? Because maybe you have a dozen goals. Well, you can't achieve a dozen goals all at once. Not typically. You really can't. I talk about this. You need to have a singular of focus, that you need to really say every single morning when you're getting up, okay, this is what I'm working on. This is what I'm doing. And there's just not enough hours in the day. If you're in a relationship, if you have a family, if you're going to school, there's not enough hours in the day. Now, you can have all 12 of those goals, but probably not all at once. And I'll tell you this, and it's part of my 4 steps, so I won't ruin it. I'll get to it in just a moment, but goals that truly matter to you, they're probably not going to be able to be accomplished in a week, right? And if you can accomplish it in a week, are you going to remember it 30 years from now? So let's start to talk about this. Okay, so the 4 steps. The first one is this. Ask yourself, these are questions to ask yourself. So if you're in the car driving right now, listening to the podcast, just let it mull around in your mind, okay? You're just going to think about it. You can even pause this podcast, whatever podcast player you're listening to, just pause it for a moment, okay? Think about it when I ask the question, and then I would love you later, if you're not near a journal or a piece of paper or near your phone to take notes, go back, write down your answers later, okay? But what's the first thing that comes to mind? That's always the most important. What's the first thing that comes to mind when I say, if you could only change one thing in your life right now, what would it be? You can only choose one thing. There might be a dozen, but you can only choose one. Where does your mind go to? Okay? Think about it. Pause if you need to. I'm going to give you some examples. Okay. So a lot of people's mind right away goes to finance. Okay. I need to be able to better pay my bills. I want to buy a house. I want to buy a car. I want to take a vacation. I want to provide more for my family. I want to be able to send my kids to the best schools. I want to buy whatever it might be. Okay. Some of it is extra stuff that you want in life, and that's totally fine. And some of it is Maslow's hierarchy of needs, those first 2 layers. And if you don't know about Maslow's hierarchy of needs, go back, check out that podcast as well. We'll try to link it up today at stephencabral.com/1781 is today's show notes page. stephencabral.com/1781. Okay, but what was the first thing that came to mind, right? Better relationship, lose the weight, get healthy, increase spirituality, decrease anxiety. Like, what is that one thing? All right. So that one thing has to be your singular focus. It's that tunnel vision that you go what they call 1 inch, right? An inch wide and a mile deep, that you are just going all in on this one thing. Because truly successful people, they have an amazing ability to just tunnel vision. Right? To just say, this is what I'm looking at right here, what's in front of me. And that's what they focus on. Now, does that lead to a well-balanced life? No, but I want to share something with you. It doesn't have to be forever. Okay? Most goals aren't going to take you forever to achieve, all right? Because that will demotivate you. So we're going to get to this. That's the third question. We'll get to that in just a moment. Okay? So it doesn't have to be forever. So I just want to keep this in your mind. All right. So I want you to think about this. If you could change one thing in your life right now, what would it be? And here's what else I want you to do. Your mind, right away when you say, I want to lose the weight, it might say, but, and there's this big but, right? The but says this. You've already tried all the diet plans. You've already tried exercising. You've tried this. You've tried that. You don't have time. Whatever it might be, your mind goes to those. Put those aside for a second, right? Suspend disbelief just for a moment, okay? We're just going through a thought exercise. Suspend disbelief. So if you haven't been able to change careers, get the promotion, build the business, whatever it is, just put that aside for a moment, okay? Whether it's the weight, the relationships, if you haven't found the right relationship, put it aside, okay? You're just allowing yourself to begin to go through an exercise, which is a beautiful exercise. It's very, very nice. Like, hey, if I had all the money in the world, if I had all the time in the world, like, what's the one thing? All right, what's the one thing? If you could change it, what would it be? Write it down. Okay. Now, the second step is this. Ask yourself why you want this. The why is what's going to allow you to persevere. We'll talk about that in a moment. But you have to have a why, all right? So, think about it. Does this hold a deep meaning for you? Or is it just for vanity? Oh, I want money. I want to increase my finances so I can buy that car. Okay. Now, maybe you love cars. It's a totally different story. So like, I'm not a car guy. I'm not a car person. It doesn't do a whole lot for me. I appreciate it. I mean, a nice car is a nice car, but it's never been my thing, which is a good thing in terms of spending my money. But I'll tell you, a lot of people appreciate and love cars, especially older cars. Like my dad loves older cars. And so that's something that he can really appreciate. That's not really a vanity thing. Like if you're looking to buy the car to impress someone, probably not the best why. Okay, probably not the best why. And if you're saying, well, I might be able to then attract a better partner, whatever it is, well, you're attracting a partner who might be a little bit more superficial. It's something to think about, all right? So I want you to think about the why. The why is very important. Okay, I want to lose, let's say, 50 pounds. Well, now that could be for vanity, or it could be for health, or it could be to be a role model. It could be for many different reasons. You can choose all of them. That's okay. Like it's okay to also like a little bit of material things and want to lose the weight because you feel like you personally would fit better in clothes at this specific weight. That's your choice. It's never my choice to tell you what weight you should be at. I want to help people achieve a healthy weight, especially if you listen to tomorrow's show. It's so very, very important in terms of the obesity and cancer-based risk. Again, I'll talk more about that on tomorrow's show. But what I want to share with you is this. The why is crucial in order to be able to see your goals through. So if it's superficial, when the going gets tough, you're going to stop, okay? Maybe not the very first time, but you will. The why has to carry you through. So I want to go back to school. I want to get the certification. I want to get the promotion because this is what I see myself doing. It's what I'm passionate about, right? The why, the passion right there is your why. Or I want to lose the weight. I want to lose the weight because my body's moving towards type 2 diabetes or cardiovascular issues or high blood pressure. I know that could really shorten my life. Okay, that's a good why. That's a strong why. And we could pick one in every single different category. So that's step number 2. Think about the why. Now, if what would you do? Your one thing doesn't pass the why test. Okay, then we need to look at a different goal. And that's okay. That's why we go through this process. All right, step number 3. Is this a short-term goal, right? So think about it. How long is your goal going to take to achieve? All right, I need to lose 50 pounds. Okay, good. Now we're talking about a bigger goal, right? If you need to lose 50 pounds, what are we looking at? About, let's say, normally 5 to 8 pounds a month, right? So that's not a problem at all. 5 to 8 pounds a month, that's after you've already gotten going. Your first month, again, that's why I talk about short versus long. If you're looking to lose 15 to 20 pounds, you can honestly do that in a month. I mean, people think that that's outrageous. It's not. Myself, my colleagues, we help people do this routinely. It is not difficult. The challenging part for people is the mental aspect and being able to keep it off. That's it. I mean, you can do our functional medicine detox. You can do our fat velocity program. You are going to lose the weight inside of a month. There's just no doubt about it. You will, right? You will, especially if you have like 25, 30 pounds to lose. You'll lose 15 to 20 pounds of that your first month, okay? And if you don't, well, then that's also an indicator because now it shows you have some type of metabolic disturbance, right? You need to work on that. You need to work on the cellular signaling, the thyroid, etc. But today is not a health-based show. But what I want to share with you is this. If the goal is 50 pounds, all right, now what are we looking at? Well, 5 months, 6 months, 7 months. Okay, well, that's a good, strong goal. You can do anything for 3 weeks, but can you do it for 5, 6, 7 months to sustain that? You need that why. Well, what's that why? Well, we need to lean on that. So the long-term goal is what I'm looking for. And also, if you gain 50 pounds, you know that, well, it didn't happen. Like it just didn't happen out of the blue. Things started to happen inside of your life. Stress, hormones, etc., food intake, and lack of exercise. So now we're going to actually shift the lifestyle. And the lifestyle now is going to be more of that longer term goal. And I love that because that means all of those things are going to spill into your life. When you start exercising, sure, it's good for your body. It's good for your weight, but it's so great for your mind. It's great for longevity. Again, I'll be talking about that in tomorrow's show, in increasing something that's called AMPK, which helps to kill cancer cells, the proliferation of cancer. So these things are just vitally important. So I want you to choose a goal that doesn't just have a short time span, okay? So yes, I love short-term goals. I'll create short-term goals, but they don't necessarily, they're not inspiring me to do something big with my life, okay? So if I want to achieve something that's under a month's time, I'll just put in the work, I'll just put in the hours, and it's great. Like it could still bring me a lot of happiness. There's no doubt about that, but it is not going to most likely shift the trajectory of my life. It's not going to allow me to wake up and say, by accomplishing this, I've made more out of me, right? I've made more out of my life. I'm doing something that really matters, that I'm going to be able to stick with. So really look at that. Just think about it. And it also, I love this too, is that if your goal is going to take more than 3 months, 4 months, a year, then it allows you to not have to be perfect, which I love. So if it's a short 3-week goal, like let's say you are looking, we've had people lose 21 pounds in 21 days on the functional medicine detox and the fat velocity program. So, but what do? Well, you need to follow that program to a T, okay? And great, it works. But let's say that you just say, you know what though? I'm going to lose the 50 pounds and I'm going to do it over 6 months, 7 months, whatever it might be. You don't have to be perfect. That's the nice thing about a longer term goal. You could be 80, 90% and you're still going to achieve it. That's the great thing, right? So it's like, yeah, you're going to eat well 9 out of 10 meals. You're going to exercise more days than not. But it's not every day. So I love the long-term goals, knowing that I don't need to be perfect. I just need to keep moving forward. That's a big thing. All right. And step number 4 is this. The last step is you have to ask yourself, this is a big one. All right. And this is the one that not everybody wants to do. But it's also the reason why not everybody gets to have the life that they see other people living. And I want you to not have the life that someone else is living. I want you to have the life that you want to live. Now, in order to do that, though, you've already established what's that one thing. If you could change one thing, if you could have one thing, what would it be in your life? Okay? What's your why? Is it short or long term? Let's make sure we focus on something that's going to take a little bit of time. All right? Not for the sake of taking time, but for the sake that you need to change in order to have the thing that you want in your life. Now, the 4th step is this. It is, are you willing to pay the price to have this goal? Meaning, there's nothing in life that is truly free. There really isn't, right? So big goals don't come free, even if there is no price tag on them. I want to repeat that. Big goals don't come free, even if there's no price tag on them, right? So if you want to be able to have that great relationship, it's not free. Might not cost any money. What's it going to cost? Time, energy, devotion, all of these things. So your goals are going to require more of you. They're going to require that you show up and you pay that price in some way. You don't get to go back to school, get the degree, get the certification, get the promotion without doing more than you're doing right now. Right? So it's like a lot of people say, and I work with a lot of integrative health practitioners and health coaches. How do I start my own practice? How do I do all of these things? Like everybody already wants the clients already coming to them. But the truth is you haven't paid the price yet. And that's not a bad thing because it separates those who are willing to do from those that would like to do, but don't. Now, neither one is better than the other, okay? But if you want to achieve your goal, it is the people that are doing rather than just ideating. That's what I call it, right? With a little Boston accent in there, coming up with the ideas. It's the people that are executing on that are taking action on that are moving forward, that are paying the time and the price. Because that's the truth is like, okay, you want to bring in more clients for your business? Great. Have you built your own website or your own Instagram page? Have you written the posts on a daily basis or other daily basis, other everyday basis? Have you started to reach out to people in your community? Like what are you starting to do? How are you beginning to teach? How are you beginning to reach people? If you're looking to lose the weight, what are you doing now? You might say, well, I've already tried this diet. I've already tried that diet. That's okay. What have you found that's been successful for you in the past? Let's start there. Let's tweak that when you begin to plateau. We will figure it out along the way. We're not going to give up. We've got our why now, okay? Are you not well? Do you need to get healthy? Do you have thyroid issues? Do you have hormone issues? Do you have skin issues? Do you have migraines? Do you have sleep issues? What's going on? We can figure this out. Are we going to stick with it though? Probably not going to cost a lot of money. Maybe a little bit, maybe a couple $100, right? You're going to get things that you need. You might hire a personal trainer. You might hire a health coach. You might hire an integrative health practitioner. You might do a functional medicine-based protocol. You might do the things, okay? That might cost a little bit of money, sure, but really it's about perseverance. It is really about understanding that you can have anything that you want in life, but there is a small price to pay. But the interesting thing is this, it's not really a price at all. Because as you are going through this process, of wanting to become better, a better partner in your relationship. You improve. You can't improve your partner. It doesn't work that way. You can improve yourself. You can be more understanding. You can be more thoughtful. You can be more considerate, right? You can be more outgoing. You can be less outgoing. You can do all of the things that you need to do that you feel give you the best chance for success. And a lot of time that's sitting back, that's thinking, what is it that I need to do in order to achieve this goal? And yes, you're going to get a lot of ideas in the beginning, but it's really the execution and the action. It is hitting roadblocks. It's overcoming obstacles that allows you to understand what it is that you need to do to get to that next level. And there's a next level for all of us. There always is. Now, you can decide to stop at any time. You can say, I'm good. I'm happy where I am right now. And I do hope that you get there, no doubt about it. But the truth is, there's nothing wrong with growth. There's nothing wrong with setting new goals, with wanting to be more, have more, achieve more, all of those things. And also, when you have more in your own life, what do? Well, you filled up that cup. A cup that is full easily can pour out to other people. And so that is why I truly believe do more, have more, be more, and then go out and teach others as well. Thank you so much for tuning into today's show. I truly appreciate you. And of course, if this show is helpful, please do feel free to share it with anyone else you believe it could serve. Before you go, I wanted to share a personal story with you. The real reason I began to get well finally is because I figured out what was wrong with me. And that might seem pretty obvious, but I went from doctor to doctor for over 2 years before discovering at-home functional medicine lab testing. These are the labs that enabled me to finally figure out what was wrong with my hormones, blood sugar, electrolytes, and gut health. And once I knew what was wrong, I could then follow a proven plan in order to rebalance my body from the inside out. This is why I believe so strongly in functional medicine lab testing and why I've made it my mission to share these labs with the world. Now at equa.life, you can order an at-home lab test or a lab bundle for you and your family and be able to complete it within the week. Plus, the EquaLife difference is that you're not left to try to read and figure out these labs on your own. We explain what your lab numbers mean, what they mean in the much bigger picture, and then how to go about rebalancing your body in order to heal. To see our full selection of lab tests, or to set up a free lab selection call to find out what labs may be best for you, simply head on over to equa.life/labs. And do remember, we ship these all over the world. To find out more and to set up your free lab selection call, simply head on over to equa.life/labs. That's EQUI.LIFE/labs.